Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are taking a look at another one of those beautiful large PNSO vinyl models, and it is the Tyrannosaurus Rex. This had come out before Wilson was released by PNSO, so this was the first, I believe, Tyrannosaurus that we got to see from PNSO, and it is also very, very large. It is a very big Tyrannosaurus Rex figure, and as with all of the vinyl models, you get a large figure for a good price. So that is one very redeeming factor of this dinosaur. I will say that it's not my favorite of the big vinyl models, and shockingly, it's the only predator that they really have out aside from Megalodon. All the other ones were all herbivores, so it's upsetting because I am a big predator kind of a guy, but it's upsetting that it didn't turn out as well as I would have liked, but it's still really, really nice. I'm not saying at all that it's bad. I'm just maybe saying that maybe I'm not super sold on the actual appearance of the sculpt, being with the tail down on the ground in more of a tripod position. And I know it's not meant to make you believe that it drug its tail or anything. I think it's just the position that it is currently in, but I feel like maybe a better pose would have made it look a little better. Either way, it's still really, really nice, so let's get a closer look at it. So taking a look up here at the head sculpt, you can see that the head sculpt is beautifully done. The teeth aren't the best because they're all kind of bunched together a little bit, but they still don't look bad. You can see the inside of the mouth is very nicely sculpted. Lots of very beautiful detail done inside. Nice realistic looking coloration. The eye is a gold color, which I don't really love on dinosaur figures. I'm not a big fan of a golden eye because I feel like no dinosaur would probably, or animal in general, would probably have a golden eye, but some may, and I just may not be aware of it. I don't know. I just don't really like the golden look to it too much. I think a lot of the time companies do it just basically because it gives it more of a wet look without actually applying a gloss. But regardless, I'm not too sold on the eye. I am, however, very sold on the detail and paint applied to the face, because as I turn it, if you look, the very small, slight difference in tones and stuff of the head is really impressive to me. There are all sorts of different colorations of brown and khaki, little tans and stuff in there. And it's really impressive to me just how they've done that. It looks very nice, very real, and I really like that. I like the black, dark coloration around the eye because it does also help to elaborate the eye. And the overall sculpt of the head is really nice. You can also see pink inside the nostril there, as that looks pretty good as well. Taking a look at this side, again, same deal. That beautiful variation in color I think looks fantastic on this figure. And the overall appearance of the head sculpt is beautiful. I definitely like that. And you can see coming down here onto the neck, some nice skin folds and stuff, wrinkles of the skin as the neck is being turned. You can also see some very minute small scales here. But one thing that is very cool about this, for anybody that doesn't like a fully scaly Rex, is it's got a lot of feathering up here, some proto feathers up here on the top. Got some significant feathering that actually runs down into the arm almost, and then into the mid-back. So that is a very cool little touch they've done, as Wilson, the T-Rex, is a pure scaled Rex. This one actually has some featherations, so we do have a somewhat feathered PNSO Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is really cool. I will say that I would have preferred they maybe put some different coloration into the actual feathers to really help them stand out, because I honestly did not even know that there were feathers on this figure until I purchased it and got it home and looked at it. The promotional images really don't show it, don't do the featheration any type of justice, so it's so dark and kind of mixed in with the body you don't notice it from a little bit back, but up close you can really see that nice featheration that we've got going on. You can also see, however, that there is a seam right here where the head connects, and that was another one of the issues with the larger vinyl models, is the seams. But it's not really that noticeable, especially because it's kind of mixed in with where all the skin is folding from the neck being turned, so it's not that bad. Coming down into the arm, though, you can see again that seam right there on the arm where the arm connects, but it's not too distracting. And the hands and arms are sculpted very nicely, very short like they should be. Even the nails are painted nicely. Again, you can see some significant variation in color throughout, and I really, really like that. Coming down here into the side of the body, look at how much sculpt work is put into this. Again, you can see right there as I turn it, the slight variation in different tones of color put into the body, Although it's a very dark figure, there is actually a lot of paint that has been gone into it to make it look so realistic. You even have little wounds here, like right there's a scratch on the side. So much realism is put into these PNSO figures, it just blows me away every time. And not to mention the sheer amount of detail. It's incredible just how much sculpt work is put into just the stomach region of this dinosaur figure. Coming back here again, another one of those seams, and this one is very large and a little distracting. You could definitely notice it even from afar, but it's not a big deal. I don't really mind it too much. Coming back here, you can see the hip bones are definitely elaborated up here. They look very good. Beautiful scales coming down into the leg, and you can see the overall detail of the skin is really beautifully done as well. Unfortunately, another seam, and this one is very, very visible. But again, the seams don't bother me that much. I was never a big complainer when it came to seams, as long as there's no giant gap, and there are definitely no gaps in this. And coming down into the foot, and the foot is painted and sculpted nicely. The nails have a little bit of a dark wash, it looks like, to it, to try to bring out some of the detail, and it looks very good. Coming up into the tail, again, you can see that beautiful detail, and sculpt is just incredible all over the place, and especially back here in the tail. As we come down the length of the tail, there's another one of those seams, but the tail is very, very long, nice and curved, and very real looking. It looks fantastic. And then looking over here at this side, again, that fantastic detail all over the place. You don't see as many folds of the skin in the neck because the neck is turned away from this side, so it's kind of stretching the skin. So some more very nice attention to detail on the part of PNSO. Again, that arm looks fantastic as well. I love looking at the different variations of tones and color put into these, because you almost don't even notice it unless you really get close and take a nice close look at it, just how much realism there is in this figure. Beautiful sculpt work everywhere. Nice. Again, those tones look fantastic. You can see little skin folds, all sorts of cracks and crevices all throughout the body. And a big hip bone again. I love these scales here, and you can see just here on the side of the skin. That looks fantastic. Very nice muscle tone. So the musculature of this figure is great as well. Beautiful calf muscles. And coming down here into the feet again, they look fantastic. Nails are painted really nicely as well. Just look at the detail of the skin. That's insane. This figure is just so nicely done as far as the overall sculpting of the small, minute details. It's just unbelievable how much work has gone into it. And again, you can see the seam right there in the tail, but it's not too distracting. And then nice, very long, very curved, very thick tail that runs out the length of the T-Rex. So as I've mentioned, it's not my favorite pose of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but the overall detail and sculpt and paint and everything of this Rex is just fantastic. And it really brings it to life, really makes it look beautiful and very alive. As far as the size goes, and it's kind of tough to actually get it all the way in screen, I tried to position the camera that you can see it, but I don't think it's going to work regardless. But up to the tip of the head there, you are looking at about 15¼ inches or 39½ centimeters. If the tail was actually stretched out as opposed to being curved, it would be significantly longer. And when I say longer, I mean it would be much, much larger. But for a height, you're looking at about 10 inches or about 25, a little over 25 centimeters. For a size comparison, here is our friend Mr. Papo T-Rex, who does not even stand a chance against this large Tyrannosaurus Rex. Honestly, he kind of looks like he could be a child to this Rex, or a juvenile at least. This thing is just huge compared to the Papo Rex. Then for another size comparison, here is the PNSO Triceratops that I reviewed recently, and you can see right there how nicely and awesomely they scale up to each other. That is a crazy, crazy cool looking scene that you can have in your house if you purchased both of these models. And I think it looks fantastic. So cool to see these two together. So these large vinyl PNSO models, as I'm sure most of you know by now, were some of my favorite things that PNSO has ever released, and I so dearly miss them. I really do. I think that they were so cool simply because of the big, large stature of them. They were just very, very big, and at the same time they looked so beautiful. They were so nicely painted and so nicely detailed that they honestly look like sideshow pieces. I mentioned it numerous times, but unfortunately they stopped making them, and I can hope and pray that they will again one day make some more. But for now, I think they're focused on smaller figures, more along the lines of the PVC figures that we were getting with the Mamenchisaurus and the Doyle Triceratops, and Wilson, the other Tyrannosaurus Rex that they made, which those are also all really nicely done figures as well. I like them too, but I'm just kind of partial to these large vinyl figures. So if you do want this T-Rex, I will link you in the description to Amazon, to the actual PNSO store where you can purchase one for yourself, because they are great and I highly recommend them. PNSO is also a fantastic company when it comes to shipping your items and definitely making sure that they take care of you. If you ever have any issues, they're really quick to sort it out, and they are just overall wonderful to deal with. So I highly recommend purchasing this figure, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.